Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, Ryan. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. We missed a week, but we're back. And this week we have the one and only Derek Funkhouser. How are you, Derek?
Hello, gentlemen. Hi. How are you?
Yeah. So we went through a list of probably about 45 people that we wanted on the show. We got to your name, and you were available. So this is how it goes.
Yeah, that's. I was going to say we tonight we're going to have a dear friend on, but he was busy, so instead we have Mr. Derek Funkhouser.
That's right. That's right.
For joining us.
I'm surprised I was that high on the list. I actually expected to be, a few hundred down, but
a few hundred down. Hey,
yeah, I mean, I moved up a
top.
little bit, I suppose.
It is April 1st, so look, and the clowns are already coming out of the clown car.
Well, so before you got here, Isaac, Ryan and I were chatting, and this is the 65th episode, and I said, "Wow, Isaac is actually older than the show is." So that's interesting.
It's Ryan's actually older than me. He's 6 years older than I am.
Whatever.
Give Isaac
I was going to say I'm usually the. Is that how we spell Isaac's last name?
Nope, not even close.
That's great. That's great.
Oh, it would have been so much fun with all of us. Who's jumping into that part?
That's probably Matt. I bet. So does Ryan know about what we had recommended of doing a Brady Bunch episode of 8 people?
No, I did not tell him.
No, I didn't know about that.
No, I did not mention that. That would have been something to see.
Yeah, that would have been very interesting. So very cool. This is a horrible April Fool's joke. This is true. April Folks joke, which is different than April Fool's. So.
Oh, let's see where this weird comment's coming from right now.
This is good. This is going to be a good show, guys. Tonight we're talking about dexterity games.
It's AJ. AJ, go over to one of the other channels to watch it.
That's great.
Oh, my goodness.
Tonight we're talking about dexterity games. So we're going to be talking all about those games that frustrate you and that your kid knows how to play better than you do. Quick story about a dexterity game. It was Dr. Eureka. You guys remember the putting the little marbles into... Yeah. So we bought that game for the kids, and Aaron beat the crap out of us constantly, over and over, to the point where the kids didn't want to play it anymore. So this game that we purchased for the kids when they were young, Aaron just beat them into submission until they just didn't want to play anymore. It was great. So
Lizzie has a story like that, but it was Settlers of Catan. So we played so much.
Yeah,
we played it literally like a dozen times over the course of like a vacation, and she was just like, I'm going to end this game as fast as I can because I'm tired of playing it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So we love-hate relationship with that game right now.
Yeah. So,
a good topic, Ryan. Games we love to hate.
Games we love to hate. Oh, that would be an interesting one. So
I got a few.
Get a lot of viewers for that.
Yeah. I don't hate a lot of games. There's some that annoy me, but that's about it.
Games we love to loathe.
Love to loathe. Yeah, that'll
basically just pick anything out 25th Century's line.
Here we go, starting strong.
Hey, yo, folks.
Our opening question tonight, we haven't even gotten there yet. We are coming off of Easter weekend. How was your Easter weekend? We always start with the guests. So, Derek, how was your Easter weekend?
It was wonderful. So I was coming off of a long weekend with Lizzie at the Adam Gamers Ranch event. I don't even know what it stands for.
It's like, I saw it.
Tabletop of opinionated minds or something, but is it Agoria tabletop opinionated minds, something like that. Anyways, the event was amazing. Played over 40 games in the span of like 3 days. New games, unannounced games. Honestly, getting classics back to the table, games that we don't play very much anymore.
Yeah,
not having to relearn them.
I saw some of the games that hit the table, and I was like, "That's really good," because I think sometimes we get stuck into this little box of like, "What's the newest thing? What's the newest thing? What's the newest thing?" We don't play stuff that's 5 years old, So.
Yeah. So we just kind of looked at the list, and I mean, we brought games out like Calico. There were games like Project L. Just games that we enjoy that we hadn't got a chance to play again since first playing it. So
nice.
A lot of fun.
So.
Oh, Malim was actually very, very good. Malim was awesome.
Agora
it's actually
for tabletop opinionated minds.
There it is, Agora for tabletop opinionated minds. If you've not had a chance, I tried to get it on Amazon, but it's sold out. But Malim is super cool.
Okay, I remember hearing about that one.
Reiner Knizia game.
Oh, okay. Okay, didn't know that. Our Easter was very good. We spent some time with Aaron's side of the family, spent some time with them, and then played some games. I actually introduced, it's in my bag over there, but I introduced the nephews to a game called, what is it? Riders 3000. It's Spark Riders 3000. Do you guys know anything about Spark Riders?
I've definitely heard of it.
Okay, so I missed this Kickstarter. I think it was 2022. I think it is everybody's on the spaceship and everybody's trying to repair the ship as aliens are attacking.
Oh, yeah.
It's integrated with this app. It's really cool. Like, I've been very impressed with that game, and so I showed it to the nephews this weekend and had a fun time with it. And so
I'm looking at it right now. That's pretty cool.
Sounds made up. Yep, it is. It is. I'm making it happen. Welcome to Will It Game. So
Will It Game. I
shouldn't have said that.
I'm on a special hidden episode of Will It Game.
Special hidden episodes. I actually thought about it. Thought about it. Anitra, such a good game. You can't remember it. Spark Rider. The name Spark Riders is very odd. So I'm not a big fan of the name. So, but whatever. It's a fun game though. But spent some time with the family, and then had outdoor dinner with our church last night, which was really fun.
Picture.
Yeah, it was really good. It was nice. It was beautiful weather. Can't ask for much better. So
yeah, we had family up. We don't have a huge family. We had like 14, I think, here on Easter. Do the traditional stuff, the ham, all the fixins, and I hid eggs this year. It was 370 eggs.
What?
Stuff them all, hide them around, adults, kids. All the kids are older now, so they're basically adults searching. It's fun to just watch them all, have a good time with it, and search around for them. So yeah, we had a good time.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, I hope Rick White does not appear.
He always shows up. So
is
always
there poorly?
Does
anybody need a rule book written poorly?
Actually, I gotta say that some of Rick's rule books are actually really good.
Yeah, so, they are.
It makes me sad to compliment him. So.
I've seen worse rule books. Anyway, our next question. Today we are discussing all things dexterity. When you think of dexterity games, what descriptive words come to mind?
I promised Lizzie I wouldn't say what I was going to say.
Don't do it.
You should. Yep. It's a family show, but you should.
We're a family adjacent show.
I told Lizzie what
it's after
she's like, do not say that.
Do not say that.
Yeah, so but you can say it in a way. You can say it in a way that's less weird.
Less weird.
That makes less people report this video.
Using our fingers to push things around a board.
Yeah. That's
not chaos, stacking, flicking, that type of
stacking,
stuff.
Flicking.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Sean, what's up, sir?
Typically.
Sean, what's up?
Hey, what up, Fletch?
Yeah. So handsy was your descriptive word that you're thinking of.
Dexterity. Okay.
I'm waiting for the foot dexterity game.
No,
man, you just stole one of my answers to the question.
I'm sorry.
Just kidding. That would be gross.
Spoilers. You don't want people putting things between their toes.
Oh my gosh! Palm trees, but with feet. Oh, palm trees with feet.
Please stop.
Next convention. Palm trees with feet. We're gonna play it.
Yeah,
it's terrible. So
you have to lay on the floor on your back so your feet are in the air.
No,
feet on the table.
No, AJ, that is always a bad idea. Always, never, ever a good idea for somebody to put feet on the table while you're playing board games.
It's disgusting. My word for dexterity game would be accuracy. I'm terrible at accuracy, and that's why I'm bad at dexterity games commonly.
How's your accuracy for things like darts and bowling and action?
I'm pretty good with those. I think it's just the practice. Like, it's just the practice. Like, I'm actually better than most of my family in Crokinole, but I'm terrible at like flick 'em up. You know?
Yeah, that's fair. Put up Fletch's comment. That's nuts.
That actually, I don't know if I'm surprised or not. I don't.
Who's out there going? You know what game we need? games with feet.
Several
we have
of
mouth.
those pitches.
I mean, but think about the mouth one. Like, what's the gross
speak
mouth
out? The speak
Yeah.
out one.
Oh yeah.
Somebody said this is a great idea, even though everybody before them probably said that's disgusting.
Oh,
Yeah.
But somebody picked it up.
So feet out.
I want the next
would be
Will It
sequel.
game to be about making a dexterity game for your feet. Something about toe fungus.
Oh.
Mushroom games are the hotness right now.
That's true. That's true.
So my descriptive word would be tactile, because I think unlike a lot of the other games, there is just such a we've got our hands on this game, and we're all trying to figure out like Derek said, there's such a almost like a sport aspect to a dexterity game.
It is,
which changes it up a little bit.
That's good.
Toe Jam and Earl, the board game.
See, now Toe Jam and Earl. I mean,
but you play with your feet. I love it.
Yeah.
Tactile's a great summation though, for sure. It's a good word.
Yeah.
Surprised Isaac came up with that.
Hey, next question. What classic?
Isaac's like, how can we get this video done as fast as possible?
Now that 12 minutes in, we're talking about feet.
Yeah.
Good.
Did you get a chance to play this game at Adam on my left shoulder?
So funny enough, they don't have a copy.
I know, that's crazy.
Eagle Griffin is sending them a copy because one of the first things we did first day was Sarah and I went to see if it was there. We're like, how can we ruin friendships as fast as possible?
Terrible.
That is a one-time game. It should be a one-time. Put it back in the box. It's when you start playing it multiple times.
Yeah,
that's where it's like Munchkin, right? Munchkin for what Munchkin is, right? Love it or loathe it. It's a one-time game, because once you start playing it multiple times in a row, it's like, I remember last time you. It's a one-time.
One time a year would be fine.
Yeah. Every other year,
very
years
with the people you play with. Like I even told Sarah at Adam, I was like, there's a very specific group of people that I would play this with, and there are people that I would never play this with.
Yeah.
I'd love to play with Ryan and Bob.
I don't get that I don't get that.
That's what I mean. I don't think you'd be super.
No. So I told Sarah, I was like, you have to have people who are emotionally intelligent enough to read the room and understand that, if someone is not having a good time, then maybe we should back off a little bit or just put the game away. But there's kind of this social contract part of it of we're around a table, we're hanging out. It's okay to be a troll and to absolutely cut people out of deals and stuff. But there's that level you can take it that can really.
Oh yeah,
and you guys know.
Oh, we've seen that. Like I said, I mean, games like Munchkin. I've seen it with
Munchkin too.
I've seen it with what's it's the hidden roll one. I hate it so much.
There's a hidden roll Munchkin.
No, not.
Like Werewolf or Resistance.
Resistance.
Oh yeah.
I've seen so many people get in so many fights playing Resistance.
Yeah. Because it has that same. Any rule or any game that can allow a group of people to cut people out of playing a game can automatically lead to some really frustrating things. Like Resistance, you could never take somebody on a mission.
Yep. And you just completely move them out of the game.
Cashing guns is that way in our house. We've had.
You 100% can pile on.
Like that has been a really rough one. There was one time when somebody got shot the first 3 times in the game. They were unwilling to put themselves on the ground, and they got out of the game in 3 turns. And they were just like, "This is stupid. You guys are dumb. I'm leaving." And I was like, "Oh."
I have the 20-player of that game from Germany that I've never played. It's on my shelf over here. It plays up to 20. It's a Pegasus Spiel version of it.
Yeah, but Bob's right. It's the pile-on effect.
Yeah. Play testing Munchkin. We had certain people in the office that volunteer every time. We keep an eye on them when we played. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I
had a friend come by and he saw Munchkin Scooby-Doo that we had for review, and I reviewed Munchkin Scooby-Doo a couple months ago, and he said, "What's Munchkin?" I was like, "Oh, I have a game for you, my friend. Let me show you."
Here, you give him the. Yes. All right, so our next question: what classic dexterity game did you enjoy as a kid? So kind of that pre-hobby kid dexterity game.
So when I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, so what are, because typically when I think of dexterity games, I think of kind of modern day dexterity games. Mm-hmm. But as I started to think back about vintage dexterity games or whatever, I was like, okay, so Jenga has been around forever, right?
Oh yeah.
And Jenga and Operation, those are 2 games that I grew up playing. So I
Operation's a
feel like
really
those
good
are
call. I didn't think about that one.
I didn't think about
yeah,
Operation either. Yeah.
like those two kind of like quintessential. I feel like everybody had those, and then like if you want to go crazy vintage, you can get to things like jacks.
Mhm.
Like the
Mhm.
marble and picking up jacks.
Oh,
Don't tip the waiter.
slammers. The Don't Wake Daddy.
Like tiddlywinks and stuff.
Yeah,
And slammers.
tiddlywinks.
Yeah.
Hogs.
Oh,
Pogs.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. That's true too. That was definitely a '90s thing.
It was.
Don't
Wake
break
Daddy.
ice. Yeah.
Don't
break
wake
the ice.
daddy.
Yeah.
Don't break the ice. Those.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's the ant one? Ants in the pants.
Oh,
Right?
ants in your
Oh yeah, where you had
cooties.
the pair. The pair of
Perfection. I
pants.
forgot about
Yep.
Perfection.
Perfection.
Man, Perfection is
man.
like, that's an awful game.
I do not like that game at all.
Marbles. Yep. We always had the Toys R Us like generic version of Perfection, so the pieces didn't go really well anyway.
They're a little loose, What shape is that? That's an amoeba.
So wow, that was a lot of really good old Dexterities.
So
Ryan, you got one?
Mine would have to be Kerplunk. My dad brought me a copy of Kerplunk when I was a kid, and then when I found out about Tower of Madness years ago, it's basically a Cthulhu themed Kerplunk. Like,
yep.
I didn't even. I was like, I had Kerplunk, and that thing. I mean, sticks got broken. I mean, we lost marbles. It was down to like 5 marbles and 2 sticks. It's like we can still play. But Tower of Madness, like we bust this out around Halloween every year, and I'm like, oh man, it gives me that Kerplunk feeling, So,
did Smirk and Dagger do that?
Yeah, Smirk and Dagger did. Yep.
Yeah.
Mine, and I got excited about Dexterity because we had a kind of friends retreat a couple weeks ago where 17 of us were up at this huge cabin, and we made a Dexterity decathlon similar to what we talked about on the last show, and came up with tons of Dexterity stuff. Some stuff I knew I had, some other stuff I found, and one of the ones I didn't take, but to me it's a classic one, and we talked a little bit about it on the show, was Bandu. And Bandu,
I have not played
great.
this yet, but I keep hearing about it.
If you can find it, it's hard to find. It's been out of print for a while. It was a Mattel game. It's all wood pieces, and it's basically you just have this small little stacking red block at the bottom there, and you pass pieces. So there's a giant pile of weird pieces, and you pass one to the left, and they have to use it. Or if they don't, they pay a bean, like a literal bean, and they pass it to the next person that keeps going around. And you just essentially play until there's one person still standing. So it's a fun little
Loop and Louie definitely counts.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, 100%.
Like on top of that, I was just thinking about this, but I mean, if you think about it, I think pinball machines kind of count, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
Like timing and
I mean, it's Dexterity.
Like, if you're bad at flipping and hitting the ball, then you're not going to be good at it.
Bob Nature's got Suspend. Yeah, Suspend.
Just played that.
Really good. Like it was one of those games that I didn't even know about, and about 6-7 years ago my aunt got it for the kids. It's really fun. Like Suspend is really fun. So awesome. And then Loop and Louie, my friend bought the 3D printed hub for Loop and Louie. He has a 8-player Loop and Louie board. So basically, he's got a piece of plywood, a square of plywood, and there's you can buy this little 3D printed hub that converts it to an 8-player game. It's ridiculous.
That's amazing. Have you seen the guys that do the customizations for those? I'm pretty sure Dice Tower, or maybe it's Stephen Bonacore, have one that's been like faster. They made it faster.
Jet.
It's crazy. They modified it so that it moves around way faster. So
that's really awesome.
Tom Vassell loves Loop and Louie.
Loop and Louie's great. My copy of Loop and Louie that I got for $5 at Target, I bought like multiple copies, and it has stopped working. I got to figure out something with a piece.
We had the Star Wars one, and the kids want the Bluey one, and Loop and Chewie. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
They get played pretty hard, so you put through them pretty quick with kids.
Yeah.
So our next question is, what is a theme in Dexterity that you think we could use? Something you haven't seen in Dexterity.
Feet.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That was my answer. Yeah, that was my answer.
Yeah.
So this was hard because there's been a lot of Dexterity games that have been created, and a lot of the time they're kind of abstracted. So I think like I have a prototype of a dexterity game I was messing around with that I've not. And if there's a game out there, I'd love to see it. Link it to me, or if someone else listens to this and they're like, "Hey, I would love to like make a game out there. Please make my life easier so I don't have to design it." But I would love a cross between the fish game, the penguin game, Ice Cool,
Ice Cool.
dexterity game. In a high fantasy. So basically you drop and shoot dice around a board trying to knock over enemies, and you're playing as like a D&D characters, bard and mage and wizard, barbarian, all that stuff. So I'd love to see like a high fantasy. I think Catacombs is the only high fantasy dexterity game that I know of.
Okay.
So closest that in different theme, right, is SEAL Team Flicks, where you're rolling around, but that one had too much prep, right? You couldn't just jump in and just enjoy the game.
I remember seeing that, never getting to play it, but that
there's a lot to it.
Up.
The theme was great.
Went away
the theme was great. Right, the theme made sense. There's just a lot of rules that kind of bogged it down.
Yeah.
I mean, with dexterity games, when I think of it, I think like family like weight type of like very easy to learn and play. So like SEAL Team Flicks was just way too much for that target.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, what's up,
Jimmy? Jimmy, what's up?
Yo.
Jimmy Dog.
So I think so we're talking about themes in possible themes that Dungeon Roll had a fantasy theme. Okay.
Dungeon Roll. I'll have to take a look at that.
Okay. I remember that name.
I'll just re-implement it and make it better.
So we the one theme that I don't know that there's a dexterity game of is farming. I was trying to think. I was like space, IP games, food games. There's all of those are covered, but I've never seen a farming dexterity game. So
I was thinking about that too. I couldn't think of. Oh yeah, Rampage. Yeah,
Rampage is
so awesome. Cool. I have the first edition of that before they got in trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, I never owned it. I couldn't. It was something about the breathing at people or like blowing at. I'm good. And Rampage is probably the closest, but but I mean, I love superhero stuff, and I was trying to think of something that was really like big IP superhero themed. That's dexterity, a Marvel, DC something, and I couldn't think of anything that was like heavy, even without the IP, just something that's superhero. Battling, combat kind of stuff. So
that'll be cool.
I like that idea. That's super
Kapow, we can throw Kapow dice at each other.
You could.
Bob said greatest modern dexterity games, tumbling dice and pitch car, period.
I mean, Bob, you're getting a little ahead of the horse here.
Period.
I know. That's the next question, man. Right? Come on.
Oh, yeah. Next question. What is your all-time favorite dexterity game? All-time, period.
Yeah, period.
So, period. So mine is actually pitch car. Pitch car mini, pitch car. It's my favorite. So if you've been at Gamers Ranch, you'll know he has like the single greatest pitch car collection I've ever seen.
So much there.
I mean, he's got everything: the Rams, the turn. Like it's
overwhelming
amazing.
The amount of stuff he has.
It is. But if you know how to play pitch car and like you know what to add in, it's amazing. Like in pitch car mini to this day is still my favorite like small box dexterity game because there's so much in that. Wow.
I didn't play it until I was at Gamers Ranch. And he set up a crazy track for us. It was awesome. David did. Yeah, it was awesome.
It is awesome. He's got a ping pong table that can fit really well.
That's really
because you can get some massive stuff. But anyways, pitch car is my favorite.
Yep,
that's cool.
Ryan.
So I would say Crokinole. Crokinole is number one for me, but I think if you're talking about it in a board game format, Ice Cool. Anybody can play Ice Cool. We've got both 1 and 2, and making the giant school for Ice Cool is just a lot of fun. So
Ethan spent hours constructing like the perfect one when we were gone on our trip and like taught everybody how to play it. There was 8 of us playing it. It was awesome.
So good.
And Jason's Crokinole, he has a really nice board. He has a table that he brought specifically for the Crokinole board. It like fits it. It's a round like portable table. Is perfect because then you don't have all the extra table. It's just Crokinole in the middle.
That's nice. That's nice.
I think Becky found it on, I want to say Amazon. They'll probably comment in, but Yeah, I was thinking about you with that, Ryan, because I thought, oh, that's like a perfect.
It was one of those
addition
weird
to
things that I looked back last year and I realized that I played more Crokinole than anything else. And I didn't.
It's
Crokinole.
easy, right? It's easy, quick.
Yeah, and you play 3 or 4 games, So
Yeah.
AJ, I don't know this one.
That goes.
So this is a game that David was going to bring to Gamers Ranch and forgot.
Okay.
But Nekojima is amazing. Saw it at Gamma. Haven't had a chance to actually play it, but the table presence alone is really cool.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
suspending I think it's monkeys or cats, and you're suspending things on a team and trying to hang things on.
Nice.
Kind of, looks like bamboo trees, like what you'd have in
Cats on Power Lines.
It's Cats on Power Lines, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Akinoko.
think I saw that.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So Amazon.
You know what's definitely Amazon that one. It's on my current wish list. A game that I've always wanted to play that's Dexterity that I think has been around for a long time. And it's funny because I see a lot of Dexterity. I'm on Dexterity Talk. I don't know if you're on TikTok. There's a lot of Dexterity games on TikTok.
I get a lot of it.
Karam, I think, is Eastern Indian,
Yep.
Eastern Middle Eastern.
I've seen
And I've
about
always wanted to play Karam because I watch these guys play, and it's crazy how they're so accurate with getting the piece inside the square. So if you've not seen people play it, it's super cool.
That's cool.
I mean, my favorite Dexterity one all time is, I think, pretty well known as Hamster Roll. I love this game. I absolutely loved it. I still get to introduce people to it.
Yep.
I brought it over the weekend. There were some people that still hadn't played it. It's so good. It's so fun.
That's cool.
It's so stand up and look at me on the table kind of game. And
awesome.
Can't wait for so many more people to have a chance to play it. Thanks to 25th Century Games.
Chad finally does something well.
Unofficial, not sponsor of the game.
Yeah, 25th Century. Thank you. We actually backed that one, so I'll have my own Hamster Roll shortly. So.
It's an amazing game. That's one that we taught at Gamers Ranch because David has a copy. David Rehagen, he has a copy in the collection, and Melissa had never played from she had played. Sarah, one of them hadn't played from Tantrum House.
I think Sarah
we taught David Waybright. He had never played, and everybody, you're exactly right.
We managed to get we got a wedged piece that went all the way around, and it got
that's awesome.
2/3 of the way around, and then it unwedged, but it was above, and you're like, wow, that doesn't happen too often.
Jimmy said Crokinole feels like it should be in a different category, like air hockey, pool, ping pong. Yeah, that's exactly right, because I feel like, and that's why I had to say ice cool afterwards, because Crokinole is its own thing,
It is. For sure.
A friend, my sister-in-law actually just got introduced to what's the one with the rubber band or the string, the tension string.
And you try to shoot it through the middle.
You shoot it through the middle, and you're trying to get all 3 pucks.
Oh man,
yeah.
I know what game you're talking about because I've played it, but I don't own it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But
yeah, so my sister-in-law just found out about that game, and she bought it. She bought it online and came in, and she's beaten the whole family with it. So she was telling me about it this weekend. So
Chad, you don't have Clask?
Clask is classic.
I still regret not buying Clask.
I'm not good at Clask.
I picked up Clask recently because Seb is now in that age where he can play Dexterity games, and it's great for him because he's developing his coordination.
Chad, thanks.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming up. We're gonna talk about it. It's on my list.
Isaac and I are gonna talk about that.
It's on my list. It's on my list. We'll get to it.
I won't.
Don't put his comment up.
I have a really funny story about that too.
We'll get to it. Is it on your 5, Derek? I'll let you.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, you do it, and then we'll talk about it.
I don't know this one. You guys have to. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I have a story.
Man, Dexterity is a hot topic, obviously.
So Dexterity, when you guys talked about this and Isaac brought it up in the chat, I was like, oh, that's great. So when I was thinking about board games, honestly, I would put Dexterity in top 5 mechanics for me.
Okay.
Worker placement, area control, deck building, Dexterity 100% is in top 5 of my favorite.
Yeah. The more I get, and especially after spending the weekend playing a ton of Dexterity stuff, and my Thursday night group, that's a pretty heavy game group. I've been introducing him to Dexterity stuff, and the more we play it, the more I'm like, yeah, we played Super Hot Rhino Hero the other day. He's like, that's my daughter's game. I'm like, dude, get that game out.
What? Yeah.
Let me show you how fun this game is. And they had
100%.
We've absolutely put Loop and Louie on the table and told the kids, get away. This is an adult game. We've absolutely done that.
So on the flip side of enjoy the most, what dexterity game do you find the most frustrating? Not that you don't like it, but if you find it frustrating.
Any type of speed game. So Dutch Blitz, Jungle Speed. I actually really dislike playing speed games. And it's not so much that I'm not fast, but
LCR.
like LC. Yeah, is LCR a speed game?
I mean,
guess kind of is in a way.
Yeah, you roll as fast as you can.
So I mean, anything with speed, Spot It, like games like that. Like I will still have fun with some of them, but
it's not your game.
Nah, it's not my type of dexterity.
Yeah. What's the Astro Trash from the?
I didn't like that one.
That one's it's LCR. Yeah. I mean, it's essentially just LCR.
I know. So
but, and Astro Trash was that actually got rethemed as a
Mickey Mouse,
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse.
And Mickey Mouse.
They almost got me. They
I love it.
We're rewatching Bob's Burgers right now, actually.
That's so good.
I love that show.
Yes, it's amazing. So,
so
I would say
you don't like Bob's Burgers?
No, I said Bob with a hot take.
Oh.
No. I said I said like Astro.
Oh, I see.
Anything real time is dumb.
Bob off the top rope.
But Bob also has not played one of the better ones, which is Sorcerer City is a solid.
They did not have that at the Gamers Ranch. Lizzie wanted to play it.
I really like Skyrockets. Skyrockets is
I played at Skyrockets. Okay, Astro. Yeah, I love Fletch. I love Astro Trash. Like it's
wasn't for me, but it looked cool. It had a great table presence.
But yeah, if you don't like speed, it's not. It's not gonna be a game you enjoy.
I played it once. It was fine. I might have bought it as the Bob's Burgers property, but yeah.
Ryan, what frustrates you in board games?
Games that require tiny fingers. I got these big old meat hooks, and
gross.
I don't like the games where you have to like navigate through something. So I actually sold my copy of Tokyo. What is it?
Tokyo Highway.
Tokyo Highway. I actually sold my copy of Tokyo Highway because I got frustrated enough with it that I was like, this game's not for my size person.
Agreed. I wanted to love it, but
I loved it at first.
Too much of a bull in a china shop.
Exactly.
I don't know that one. Anitra mentioned Panic Island. I'm not familiar with that one.
Panic Island's really good.
I haven't heard of Panic Island.
Panic Island is good.
You guys got me looking up new games.
Got it somewhere,
but you're not gonna like it. Speed. She said she's using.
I mean, so here's the thing. Like, I dislike speed games, but I'll still play them.
Yeah, that's fair. So you don't dislike it. It's just what you find frustrating.
I find it frustrating, right?
Yeah. I get it.
If there's I would love to find a speed dexterity game that is for me. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to make one.
I don't have it as much as a specific, like you said, like tiny and versus speed. Like the one I have found the most frustrating dexterity game I've ever played is Men at Work. Men at Work is hard. It's not like, I don't understand it. It's just hard. That game is like challenging to the nines. And Simon in our Brady Bunch chat, whenever we did it, he said that's his favorite dexterity game because it is such a challenge to get through and be able to stabilize and get things hanging on. Have you played that one, Ryan? Men at Work?
No, I've watched other people play it, and I feel like it would be one of those Tokyo Highway type situations.
No, the pieces are big in that game.
They're chunky.
They're big pieces. Even the little Meeple guys.
So maybe I wouldn't have had an issue with that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think the hand size would get you in that. I think it's more
difficult.
How do I balance this thing? It seems impossible.
Yeah. So Jimmy, Anitra's right.
Yep.
Anitra just said Skyrockets is kites, but with a little bit of forgiveness. I never played kites, but Skyrockets is phenomenal. Like we got Skyrockets to review, and I was blown away by how good it was and how the challenges ramped up, and we would just take out 3 challenge cards and just sit there and play them. It is, I think games that add those challenge cards or like goals like that really increase the replayability in a way that makes it meaningful. So Skyrockets is legit the best real-time game that I have in my collection.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, we're at that point where we talk about our guests. So, hey, Derek, what do you do in the board game world?
Yeah.
So day to day, I work as director of game development, production, a lot of different things, a lot of different hats for Wise Wizard Games. So it's pretty awesome. I do a lot of honestly more day-to-day operations stuff. So that's been keeping me super busy. Right now we have a live game found for the expansion for Robot Quest Arena, which has been really fun. I am glad that it's almost to the end. It's 23 days of running a campaign is a long time, but it's going really well. So if you're interested, you like Robot Quest Arena, the expansion's a ton of fun. I'm excited for the 4 new characters, or the 4 new robots we have coming out. And of course, if you don't get it on Kickstarter, we'll have them available at conventions in the future and retail and all that good stuff. So,
just posted the link to the Game Found campaign.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun to work on this. Yeah. So, worked with CJ, who's another designer in the company. He and I co-designed all the new stuff, and it's just a ton of fun to play. It's a lot of fun to work on. So.
And this is another game that I had a chance to. I've been introducing to some people recently. And hey, Game of Sidekicks.
Oh, hey, look, there he is.
Hey, look at those guys. And it is amazing to me because I describe it and they're like, I don't like battling combat games. I'm like, oh, just wait, it's a deck builder. At its heart, it's a really good deck builder with play out the combat, and people love this game. And I think the comment I get the most is that it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like it plays in a very smooth amount of time. They're like, that was really fun, and I didn't feel like I was waiting forever for this game to end.
Yeah, it does play fast. I mean, you're looking 45, 60 minutes at 2 to 4 players. So
nice.
Get in, do a bunch of damage, build up your deck, and
it's a lot in the box.
Yeah, and there's a lot in the box. That's true.
And this new arena is how big compared to the
It is a 9x9 grid square for the new arena. So it'll take it from a 7x7, and when a 9x9 give you a lot more space, but you can also play with a lot more players. So if you want to play 7 or 8 players, like getting that new arena would be
awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So where might we find you guys in the board game convention? Whoa! What is
that? Hold on. That's interesting. Look at that.
That's interesting.
Hey, that's kind of cool. Oh. So at Wise Wizard Games, all over social media, or WWG is where you find them. And then on social media, Lizzie and I do Board Game Spotlight. So if you're in the Facebook group, or you follow us on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, whatever, at BG Spotlight is our handle there.
Nice. Where might we find you guys in the convention center? Where convention season, as we're ramping, I feel like we're ramping into it here, right?
We are. So we were just at Gamma, and coming up we have ACD Game Days, which is mainly for retailers, but there'll be a bunch of industry folks there. So I'll be there. I'll be at Geekway to the West. I won't be able to be at Origins this year. I'm super bummed because it's like the first Origins I've missed, barring COVID.
Super sad.
Yeah, bummed about that. But then I'll be at Gen Con, PAX Unplugged, Essen, finally, for the first time. I feel like I've been saying that forever, but I'm finally going to Essen. And then that's it. So I'm not going to make BGG Con this year. One of the things I want to do is overlap Tantrum Con and BGG and go to one and then the next. So BGG I'm probably going to try to go to next year. But it also just falls at a really rough time.
With PAX Unplugged is right on top of it.
I mean, PAX Unplugged is there. You have Essen Travel, you have Thanksgiving and Christmas, and those last 4 months of the year are brutal.
PAX Unplugged for me, if it was early in the fall, I would definitely be able to go. But with it right there we traveled 2 years ago. We traveled quite a bit during that first week of December, and I felt like the entire month of December was a wash. I felt like I didn't get enough family time and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know. PAX Unplugged.
It's even later this year. Really? I was just checking all the dates. It's,
for PAX?
Yeah, for Unplugged, it's 6th through the 8th. So it's been like the first couple days, but because where Thanksgiving falls in the next weekend, it's the 6, 7, 8. So, which I actually don't mind it being a little bit further. Yeah, and I 100% agree with Bob. Even though the timing is the timing, PAX Unplugged is my favorite convention.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Have
no doubt that I would love it. In June, I have the time to do it.
Yeah, you'll be empty housed at some point where you'll have a little more time.
Yeah,
I mean that's where we're rolling into. So, well, awesome. Well, we like to come to this part where we do the Game Chat presents Pick 5. Throw the graphic up, Ryan. Throw the graphic.
Where's the graphic? Someone made. Where's it at?
No, never mind. Anyway, pick 5.
One day.
Visualize a really awesome graphic somewhere.
Close your eyes. Don't exit the program that you're watching our show on.
So we're doing pick 5. Pick
5
dexterity games. They're not the best. They're not the greatest. They're not your top 5. They're just 5 games that you want people to know about in the world of dexterity. So we'll go one at a time. Derek, if you want to start us off, what's number?
I do. So actually, if I can, I don't know if I can. I'm going to try to share my screen. I think I can take over and share.
If you, there's a share button at the bottom.
Yeah. Can you see this?
Ryan will,
Ryan will
authorize it. Yep.
There we go.
Cool. So this is Beano. It's called a Beano board. This is probably quickly overtaking my top 3 ever for dexterity games. Yep. I have played this nonstop for the last weekend because it was at Adam, and I've been playing with Seb, and he loves it. Oh my gosh, he loves this game. So it is basically flick soccer. You've got these super fun little rubber bands around the outside, or not rubber bands, but elastic bands. You've got these little metal pieces that simulate players. Can I zoom in? I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah, just zoom your screen in and it'll. Oh, there you go.
Whoops.
Oh,
so you can see here, you've got these little metal pieces here. Oh, wow. You can get them by. Wow, I didn't realize you get an Arsenal one.
You can get any field on them. Custom.
That's super cool. So I didn't realize that. Had I probably would have bought one with an Arsenal field. But anyways, you take turns flicking the ball back and forth, trying to make trick shots, getting around the opposing players to score points. 1st to 7 wins. If you knock the ball out of the field, there's a red card. There's yellow cards for certain things. If you get a red card, your opponent can take one of the pieces off the field, so it's easier for them to make shots.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, you actually unscrew it. And I mean, so funny story is I was following these guys before they launched on TikTok, like a few years ago. Like I think this was pre-COVID, and never really thought anything about it. But then they blew up, and I got to play this at PAX East a couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
Here, I'll stop sharing now. I got to play it at PAX East, and I was like, "Oh, this is super
That's
good."
cool.
And then Isaac had messaged me saying he was playing that same weekend at his retreat, and his friend Gene was kicking his butt.
Yeah, Gene's great. Gene followed him from the get-go back on Kickstarter.
I should. Oh, I didn't realize they were on Kickstarter.
Yeah, he has one of the Kickstarter ones, and they have 2 different kinds, right? So they have that like the surfaces are different, and we only played with the one surface, but they said the grass one makes the ball go crazy. And I was watching, I mean, same thing on TikTok. People put sand in them and play them in a sand surface.
Yep.
Like it's fun.
You know what's crazy about that is that Lego actually.
They had an old game like this.
Yes.
I
still have it. You have it too?
Yeah,
I still have it.
You would pull the dudes back, and they would flip.
You would push back on them, and the Lego guy
and a basketball one too.
Yep. That's crazy because it reminds me it's built just like that. You know, as far as
it's a ton of
size
fun.
And ratio, and
it really just surprised me. It was one of those games I needed to play. Now it's pretty pricey, which is why I wanted to play it before I bought one. But having played it, I was like, 100%. This is for me.
Pricey? Are we talking about a crokinole board? Pricey, or are we talking about
less?
A little less, but it was
around 100, I think. Yeah.
Okay, around 100. Okay.
Anyways, it was awesome. Isaac's
pick.
played it. It's quickly being one of my most played games. Like basically, it's going to stay on the table forever.
That's cool.
I'm hoping they're at Origins this year. We'll see.
Yeah,
I messaged them and asked. So,
well, if they'll be there, I'll definitely play it because I would love to check it out. So,
sure.
So Lots is kind of like reverse Jenga. This one is. I really like the way that this one is, even though I've got bigger, chunkier fingers. This is one of those small box games that I really actually enjoy a lot. You're cooperatively building this tower, but there are points that you're gaining based on where you put your piece and what it's connected to, and if you finish a level, things like that. Lots is a lot of fun, and it's fun to play with kids and adults. That's probably its best. Probably the best thing about it is that you can play with kids and adults, and it's just a fantastic time, building this tower together. So
I'm gonna go with my biggest surprise from PAX this last year. That's a little
nice
little game with a lot of game in a little box. Raptor 5, probably one of my most played in the last 6 months.
Nice.
Getting this out, getting people excited. My buddy who's in the Ukraine really wanted to steal this copy when he was visiting, but he finally got somebody to bring him a copy. And he keeps sending me videos, and regardless of the language barrier, watching people stress over this is amazing. He had a video where he
So
tried to
much fun.
shushed somebody, and his shush knocked it over. And so the next video he sends me, he is 10 feet away from the game in between his turns, standing on the kitchen counter because he wanted to be as far away from the game. It's such a fun ton of dexterity in a small box.
That's really good.
100%. That's also in one of my most favorite dexterities recently.
Nice.
We played that at Gamers Range.
Awesome. Number 2.
Number 2 for me is going to be Tumbling Dice. It is downstairs. I have all these games that I was going to bring off my office, but Tumbling Dice, I'm sure you probably had. There it is, Isaac. Tumbling Dice from Eagle Griffin Games is one of my favorite of all time. It is so much fun. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Plinko and
Plinko. It's dice Plinko.
Dropping dice and trying to score. But like the pips score you points depending on where they land.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome to get get people around the table. At Origins, I think back in 2018, we went to a big event and they just basically did round robin tumbling dice where you would just walk around the table, drop your dice, and kept going. There was like 10 or 12 people playing. As long as you have different dice colors, any number of people can play, which is awesome.
So I have 12 different colors of chunky clear dice in there that I ordered off Amazon just to get so many different sets.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. So if you've not played Tumbling Dice, as Bob said earlier, it is
Tumbling Dice is good.
One of the best.
I actually won. So I think that 2018 Origins, they had new copies of. They had just reran Fleet the Dice game, and I was wanting it for Father's Day, and so they had a copy of Tumbling Dice there, and they said, earn your
roll discount.
Roll a discount.
I remember.
So I think I got 30, but whatever the highest one was, I ended up getting it, and I was like, yes! I couldn't believe it. I was like, one time, that's all I had. So
that counts.
Yeah. My second one is Crash Octopus. This is the German version because I couldn't find a version in the U.S. This is such a silly game. You've got
Never heard of that.
Oh man, it's so good. It's you've got this big circle right here, which represents the octopus in the middle of the table, and then it's got tentacles all around here. And you're going to throw the dice. It's actually going to hit the top of the octopus's head, and it's going to go somewhere in that ocean piece. And it starts knocking things over. When you're really good at it, you can actually adjust and have the die knock people's ships over. What you're doing is your ship is trying to collect people and treasure and all this stuff. It is stupid fun.
That sounds awesome.
It is really, really good. And
I've never heard of that game before.
Yeah, it was on Kickstarter, and it's people who did Tokyo Highway. So,
okay.
So
I don't think you've talked about that one. On the show, have you?
I'm gonna have to take a look at that.
Crash Octopus is so good, and it is one of my favorite dexterity games. So I got the German version because I couldn't find a copy. I missed.
Well, it's probably language independent too, right? So
yeah, so as long as
you have to look, it doesn't really matter.
Instructions and stuff, and like the bonus stuff is all in German, so I have to just get a translator app. So it's a really fun game. So
yeah. Awesome. My next one up is, because we have to have an obligatory 20th century game.
25th century game.
Is Mutton Busting. Now, this is dexterity, not in the way that we talked about. It is dice chucking, rolling, but it's like acting out dexterity, right? And it's speed. And I will say this game, like a lot of games, is dependent on the people you're playing with.
Yes.
And if people you're playing with are willing to be silly and stupid and fun and loud and goofy and not take this game seriously at all, you're gonna have a good time with it.
So we're not playing with ball.
My favorite experience with this game ever was at Gen Con with Derek, AJ, Simon, and watching Simon, who is not the guy that usually gets crazy at the table, get crazy at the table. Yeah, that's cool. It was a blast. 100% enjoyed it.
I forgot about that having speed, so I do really like Mutton Busting. So there you go, Chad. Congratulations. There is a speed dexterity game.
There we go. You like it.
Perfect.
Forgot about that.
Number three,
I'm going to go with a game that everybody that I know loves, and I believe, Isaac, you love it. you love this game so much that you ripped your shirt off in Origins 2023.
Oh my gosh, dude!
It's gonna be Strike, baby.
Strike.
Strike.
So good.
I mean, there's not a lot to say about Strike, but like again, it's one of those games that we were able to teach Seb really, really young, and we've gone through so many copies. I've gifted so many copies, and it's a game that I love it. It's like if you're talking about Dexterity Decathlon, I think Strike's got it.
Oh yeah, it was in there. We played a ton of Strike.
And it's great because like it's not only like rewarding when you're actually able to like make some really awesome like throws, but it's not like really complicated and anybody can play it. So it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah, we had it out at Easter. It was just an easy like come sit down, grab some dice, let me show you how to play.
Strike is one of the most accessible games out there. We went to somebody's it was like a ceremony where somebody was graduating, and I brought it with us because I knew it was going to be outside and I knew it was going to be hot, and I was like, I need something fast that people aren't going to get bored with. And I think we played Strike for like 2.5 hours. Like people just play. It's like somebody would jump up, somebody would jump in their seat, and it was always getting played. So
I love it.
Next up, let's go with Table Golf Association. This one right here. This is it really surprised me. Like I don't like golf. I like disc golf, but this game shocked me because the size of these boards are really thick, really fantastic quality, and this ball bearing like flicking thing to get a hole in one or to get in as many as you can. It comes with a score pad and everything. It is a really, really fun game. The setup, my critique of the game is that we did a full review for this game. This game is a little frustrating because there's not necessarily enough pieces to make a whole bunch of different holes that you can just go to. And I think that's once you finish a hole, you kind of have to break it down to salvage those pieces to make another one. And if somebody's quick at that, the game's phenomenal. If you make the time for it, Table Golf Association is really, really good. And it actually there's an expansion that's coming for Table Golf Association that's coming to Kickstarter on the 16th of this month. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that beach something.
When I first saw that game, it reminded me of. Did you guys ever play Mars Open?
I love Mars Open,
but like that one is even wilder because you're like flicking like the old footballs that you used to. Like and you're like making some crazy shots. I played that 2018 Tantrum Con. They had a huge Mars Open tournament.
Oh, really?
And I didn't play in the tournament, but I played it because I was on the table and I'd never played it before. And I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. But you do need a pretty big area to play is my only critique.
Mars Open was the game that my daughter, my youngest, Kendall, she said, do we have to send this prototype back? I was like, yes, we do. And so thankfully they sent us a copy after the Kickstarter ended. And it got a lot of play with the kids were young. I think that's the one thing. The setup for that one is very fast, whereas the setup for Table Golf Association is a little slower. And it chugs a little bit, but the gameplay is fantastic.
Yep. Awesome. Somebody just threw a comment in about Divinus.
Oh, Divinus. Nice.
We actually, our Thursday group, two of the guys helped me play test the first two scenarios, or, when we reviewed it year and a half ago. It's been a while. Yeah. So we got it out Thursday. We played the first 3 scenarios on it. And once we got back into the rhythm of the game, it's fun. If you want an app-driven adventure, and it's competitive, which is what sets it apart from Destiny's, because Destiny's is all cooperative, but Divinus, you are at each other's throats in that game. And
really?
It's you're kind of pushing and pulling between the two little G god pantheons and who you're going to support. It's Gibbons. Hey, Justin.
Awesome.
It's
fun.
It's still in my pile of things I need to play because I did enjoy it. It's just campaign legacy games are hard for us to play.
It's a game.
Really got to commit to it because I don't want to get halfway through it because like I know I like the game because we did the same thing. We did the prototype. I don't want to get halfway through it and never finish it.
AJ same thing. Playing his kids. Hold on to it for a few years. Seb will be right in that.
Yeah, I mean he'll be right into it in a few years. So
I'm gonna go for my number 3. We already talked about it, but I'm gonna go Loop and Chewy.
Oh, there it is.
Another game that a lot of people for our weekend for our Dexterity Decathlon had never played before. And once this was on the table, it never came off the table.
I believe it.
People were playing it. People were, hey, is there room for Loop and Chewy? Oh, I just turned it on accidentally. Is there room for it?
Is there room for another? Hey, can I get in?
I gotta turn them
that's off. That's how Hamster Roll has been. Like, hey, I went in on the next one or something. You know, like when people see it on the table.
Yeah, Chewy's over here trying to work by himself. There he goes. Get at it, Chewy.
And the difference between Loop and Chewy and Loop and Louie is Loop and Chewy is only 3 players, right?
Loop and Chewy is only 3 also.
Yeah, so Loop and Louie is 4.
Louie's also. Is it 4?
Yeah, okay. Loop and Louie is 4. Yeah.
The new Bluey one is 4 players as well.
Okay.
It's I don't know if you guys know Bluey, but I mean obviously
of course we know Bluey.
It's keepy uppy. So you're bouncing a balloon around, which is a really great theme for it.
That's perfect. Snap! I might need to get that for one of my friend's kids.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be one of our next purchases.
Oh, okay.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me is going to be now. So this again, like you mentioned, these aren't necessarily like the best Dexterity games. We've already talked about a bunch. If you want an experience, you need to play a game called Dungeon Fighter.
Oh,
Dungeon Fighter is wild because you have all of these skills and like you basically roll a dice or throw a dice into the middle of a board to try to like defeat enemies and stuff. But there are rules cards that tell you how you have to do it. And there are things like spin around the table 3 times and throw it behind your back or throw it from underneath an armpit or your leg. And it's just like really silly dexterity. It's been a long time since I've played it. I think it was like 2017, maybe 2016, but it was a lot of fun. And it was one of those like experience types. Yeah, so you can see it there where you're trying to dice fling dexterity, trying to land the dice on certain hits because the enemies have like hit points and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an experience.
That's awesome. Cool. I remember that game coming out, and I remember the board. I've never played it myself.
Yeah.
Drop It. I brought this one out a couple weeks ago. It was January, I think. I said, I haven't played Drop It in a while. We played this back to back to back to back. I mean, it was just like, I was like, I forgot how fun Drop It is.
So another one that we introduced family for our retreat. They'd never played it and they loved it.
It's fantastic. It's such a good game.
And the good thing with all those, like when we had Wormspan, we had some other heavier games going, but that's a game that I can look at and literally anybody who's played it once and go, you teach that game? Yeah, I can teach it. Yeah, it's really simple, right? And then people can get right in and start playing. Nice. I'm gonna go with a old WizKids game that.
I know what this is. Kung Fu Zoo.
Kung Fu Zoo.
Kung Fu Zoo.
I knew that's what you're talking about.
Kung Fu Zoo is so good, and it got kind of just in the waterfall of games that came out of WizKids around this time.
Right?
It got buried, and it's so simple. The board is literally just the box. Ryan, have you played this one?
I have not. I didn't even know.
That is a great dexterity
game.
This is
the board, and it just goes right in here, and you're putting the dice on the edge, and you're flicking them at each other's dice, and there's little holes you're trying to get them into, or if they land on the wrong side, they're like feet up and they're knocked out. And each die looks like an animal, which is awesome. Like it's got
it's like animal wrestling.
Yeah, it is. And it's got like that
That's
head on
really
one
cool.
side, but the opposite side is the tail. But you don't want to end up all feet up because it's knocked out.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to play and understand. There's variable player powers for the different animals.
That's really cool.
And, it's a great, easy in a box. Again, where some of the dexterity games take a lot, this is easy, quick to set up and play.
That's awesome.
Well, you both talked about games I was thinking about talking about, like Drop It and Kung Fu Zoo are on the short list. You guys nailed that. But I'll throw into the ring a game that I think is great for kids and adults. Is Animal Upon Animal.
Yes.
That's a good one.
It's just a lot of it's a stacking game, right? So a lot of the stuff we've been talking about is like flicking or dice rolling, but this one is a stacking game, and it's a lot of fun. And if you've not had a chance to play that, then you definitely should. It's from Haba. But again, it's one of those ones where I love dexterity games that can be played with kids, but it's not just for kids. Like adults can have fun with it too. Like we talked about Rhino Hero, Animal Upon Animal is another one.
Yeah.
And then another game I just thought of that I forgot about that Junk Art.
Junk
Art feels like modern day Bandu, I think, right? In a way. Is it similar vibes? I haven't played Bandu, but
Junk Art is very similar to Bandu.
Yes. Yeah. So that's another one. So
so let's see.
I don't know that one.
Cody said, "Hey guys, joined in Castle Dukes, a euro for VP where you are building a 3D castle, a tower, trying to put meeples inside without Chinga style knocking it over." Interesting.
That sounds fun. Oh, AJ Dungeon Drop and Drop. Is it Drop Drive? Or the new space one they have is also really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Look at this game. This is crazy looking.
Share it.
This is
Castle Dukes. Hold on. I have never.
Like 4 new dexterity games I have to buy now.
This one, share.
I want to have like just a dexterity shelf.
Oh wow! What in the world?
Oh.
It's got little like flag towers. It looks like at the top. Look at that one.
Yeah.
That looks like like a legit board game with dexterity.
That's interesting. Okay. Castle Dukes. Have never heard of that.
All right.
Build your own castle.
Yeah. Cody, thanks for sharing that one with us. Okay. That's cool. My last one on this list is Meeple Circus, talking about stacking things. Yeah. This one, players are working to make the greatest circus and attract all of the applause. There's an app that all it is a timer and circus music. And so that's all it does. Timer and circus music, and you basically recruit, depending on how well you do, you recruit new performers and add them to your circus act. You go do it in 3 rounds, I believe. This game is stupidly fun. I played it, I think, at Tantrum Con. Yeah, I think I played it last at Tantrum Con this past year. No, at Dice and Diversions in Atlanta. So it is such a fun game.
That one's been on my list to try because I've never played it before.
So I had a hard time finding it, and somebody sold it to me they sold it to me for like $10.
Is it Madigo? Is that right?
Yeah, Madigo.
Yeah.
Sold it to me for like $10 at Southern Fried like 3 years ago. So
nice.
Not too shabby. This is 5.
Yep, 5.
And I had a couple sitting around me, but I'm going to go with a classic we drug out recently for our Thursday night. Had 10 people at the table playing it, and that's Flick 'em Up. The OG Flick 'em Up hard
solid
box version. We played it out. They had never, because we're on this dexterity kick right on our Thursday nights, and had a big group, and I'm like, I got a 5v5. They're like, what? And everybody was chairs away. We played it on a high table, which is actually really nice.
That's so good.
And I forgot how much I thoroughly enjoy that game and how difficult it is for new players to really.
I have a plastic copy. I have a plastic copy that I have never gotten rid of, and so I
love this version.
Flick 'em Up is one game that I regret getting rid of.
Really?
Yeah, because like now, like I didn't have kids when I had it. And we weren't playing it, so I have the copy that I had the copy that I was like, and I regret. Hey, what up, Elena? So, like, I don't know if you guys have ever thought of this, but like another cool chat could be about like games you regret getting rid of, or like games you regret.
That would be good because
like I can count like on my hand. I can count for at least 5 games that I regret and have actually repurchased because I was like, man, why did I ever get rid of that?
No doubt.
So,
what the heck is this game Chad's talking about? I've never heard of this one either.
So Chad
this looks amazing.
Is that how you say your last name? Villa? Via?
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Classic
Riff Raff.
Have you seen this before?
Wobbly ship. No.
Look at this thing. That's crazy.
Oh, thanks, Elena.
This is high on my list. I'm gonna go try and find.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so this
wobbly ship.
Okay, hold on a second. I have to find this game real quick because while we were you've been to Gamers Ranch, right?
Oh yeah.
So David Rehagen, the guy that owns the place, he always comes up every week. Well, every weekend he can.
Oh yeah, he's hanging out.
Yeah. Oh, I have to remember how to spell this name. This is a game that I had no idea existed. Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Here it is. I found it. Oh my gosh, it's German only. In this game,
he's gonna try his hamster roll.
This is the game I'm going to buy.
It's gonna be
no, it's not. Just wait for this. I'm buying this game first because of the name. This game is called Kapitein Wackel Pudding.
Oh, yeah. Word you just said made sense. No, I've never heard of that.
No. It's German only for 1994. You're moving a ship stacked with blocks, and you can't let them fall over. And like they didn't have this at Gamers Ranch, but we were talking about like just old Dexterity games because this came actually when we were talking about Hamster Rule. This is an older game that got reprinted. I am obsessed with. Look at that ship.
That's
and you have to move it from region to region in pieces that fall off and gain them.
Oh,
like, dude, I want to play this so badly.
Chad, you still here?
If Chad is watching this, find
Chad,
Kapitein Wackel Pudding.
That weird. That's so weird.
Ridiculous.
So put that on your list for Dexterity games.
Okay, well, we got some new games to purchase now. So, speaking of new things,
I wish we made more money on this show because this show makes me broke.
Hey, I just got the notification you guys got 100 comments for tonight.
Oh, did we? Oh,
yeah, nice. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
What are you playing, Derek? What's obviously you played a lot of stuff. You mentioned some of the things, but what are you playing with Seb? What am I
playing with Seb? So Beano, Clask, Lorcana. I'm actually going next Sunday to teach my local game store Star Wars Unlimited.
Nice.
Because they are interested and they might try to start something up. I'm not sure, but I got sucked in.
Okay.
Thanks, Bob. And AJ,
Bob.
You both are terrible friends.
Always Bob.
And yeah, so get out of here, AJ. So that's what I've been playing a lot of.
That's cool.
I'm grabbing mine. Go on.
So I started playing Betrayal: Deck of Lost Souls. So I am a big horror game fan. Betrayal: Deck of Lost Souls is a new one from Avalon Hill and
really
Hasbro. It's really pretty. If you like gold foil everything, this game is it. Gold foil everything. It is.
That's wild.
It is very good. There's a question mark at the end of that. We're going to be reviewing that this month. I like it. There's some design choices that are not great.
Interesting.
But if you just want a great game,
Capybaras.
Yes. So I introduced my wife to this one.
I love that name.
Yeah.
It is so good.
So I introduced my wife to this when we had the little 2-player little packet that Helena was giving out at PAX Unplugged. Bob brought it back. Capybaras, the full version, is so good.
I'm obsessed with that game.
We've played it 3 times. Every time we play it, Aaron's like, "This is so good. It's so good." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
You can, when you're done with that, just send it our way.
Just send it your way.
Elena said it was okay.
And then he'll send it over to me, and then I'll ship it up to Canada.
It's all good.
I'm super close.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I'm not allowed to ship anything outside of the United States. Helena remembers. I accidentally messed that one up one time about 4 years ago. So.
Oh no.
So.
Well, I'm in the U.S.
Yeah. You're
on
in
that
the US,
Lorcana thing, though, I know Fletch is here. I got signed up for the regional tournament for the Stitch promo, so I'm excited.
Nice.
Gonna go play in a big tournament, try to win that Stitch Rockstar that everybody's after right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just send it to me, Helena, and I'll make sure he gets it.
We keep talking about this. Like, I'm serious though. Like, we just need to get together and hang out again. Like, you're only 5 hours away. Like,
yeah, I know. We need to make it happen.
We'll go like halfway between somewhere.
Look at now, AJ's trying to snipe it.
AJ's like, I want it.
AJ can just drive to my house. He's an hour away.
Two games I've been playing a little bit recently. They'll be coming up with some review stuff. First off is Digsaw Roll Cut Collect New Stronghold game. If you ever played Clip Cut Parks, this is a game that comes with safety scissors, just like Clip Cut Parks.
Renegade.
Clip Cut Parks was Renegade. I like this a lot more. It's fun. It's got a scissor dexterity thing to it, but you're rolling dice and you're cutting, and there's this point where you're like, oh shoot, I've made too many cuts and this is going bad. It's fun. It takes a lot of planning.
That looks cute.
And this is one that I think I saw at Tantrum Con. I wish we would have got it out and played it because I think I like it. I think I like it a little more than Couture, and that's Big Top.
I haven't played it.
So stupid good.
Is it
it's
good?
a blind.
Really?
It's a blind.
I have Big Top too.
It's bidding
Yeah, it's blind bidding.
But it's blind money. It's real time bidding, but it's blind money. The way you bid is so fun and unique in that you are paying a bidding amount to finish your cards, and if your cards aren't finished, you can't score them. But if you bid too much, you might not have the money. It's great. I have played this so much.
It sounds like they took some QE vibes.
A little bit. You know what's big QE in this is some of the cards have stars on them. If you don't have at least one completed card with a star, you score 0 points. And so when I taught this to a group, the one guy by far had more points than the rest of us. But I'm like, "Where's your star?" He's like, "I couldn't finish the one card." I'm like, "Then you get 0 and you lose."
That was in the same Kickstarter as Couture, I believe. Or no, it was Colin. I don't know.
This was Chomp.
Chomp.
Yep. Okay.
So I got that plus the bits. You know how they do the upgrade.
Yep. And it's 3 to 4 players. So again, it's not going to play at 2s, but I played it 3. I played it 4. It is awesome. If you like a bidding game, this is a super solid bidding game.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna have to get my copy out.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Well, this has been a long episode about Dexterity games. Thank you so much, Derek and Feet. Derek, if you want more context, go to the earlier part of the episode where we talked about feet for 4 minutes. Disgusting. I'm going to edit that part out. Derek, where can people find you?
You can find me at Wise Wizard Games. You can find me at conventions on Facebook at BG Spotlight. Find me at my name. Give me a follow. Posting a lot of different things, talking about games we love, talking about the people we love, all that stuff. So, and I sometimes talk about Isaac, but
sometimes because you love Isaac just a little,
just a little.
So you can find us at One Board Family all over the place: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, all the places. Go to oneboardfamily.com to see our written copy of reviews, which will be coming up with Betrayal, Deck of the Lost Souls, and you'll see content closer to the release of Cafe Barras. So 2 great games. And if you want to know more about Drop It and Table Golf Association, we've done full reviews for both of these and lots. So
perfect. Yeah, we're over at Game with Sidekicks on all the socials. Over at our website, gamingwithsidekicks.com, where we just had a review of I'm the Boss drop last week, along with a review of the new Nerdy Pup Kickstarter Super Squad High that buddy Randy over on the team just finished writing up. So lots of fun stuff. Find us on all the socials, especially over at TikTok. This is live streaming at TikTok. We actually had another 100 people on TikTok watch.
Oh, you live stream this on TikTok?
People. Yeah.
No, 131 views.
I meant to ask you about that. I think you can go live from the website app and not have to use your phone. Have you been doing that?
No, I'm actually using the TikTok Creator Studio, the live studio. And it's just picking up this screen that we see and porting it right on with sound.
Nice.
So,
very cool.
Yeah, works well.
You all have a great night. Helena, have a great night.
Thank you, Helena.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget about our
Love y'all.
One Board Family Pinterest page with soup and doily needs. Doily. I was like, you misspelled oily.
Did you start a Pinterest board?
No.
Oh, okay. So, fair enough.
Anyway,
Bob probably did. All right, everybody.
Bob did. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, good night.
Bye.